unless it is somebody that understands my vision to a T, can I only take that opinion. You don't need to know me, you just need to know that there's a space for you.
I want to understand what it takes to build something like this at the age of 26.
Whatever I priced it at, somebody would have a problem. Like,
100%.
I can't win. That's 600 women that will pay 120. And I don't know a single gym that has 30,000 people. I'm always working, like, it's been hard. People forget you're a real person, you know? Like, they forget that you have a personal life, that you have opinions, that certain comments can have an impact on you. Like, they forget it.
Natalee, how are we?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. How are you feeling about this conversation?
Good. Like
Yeah.
I said, I don't do this often, and I want to do it more. And I feel like if there's anyone I'll do it with, it's you, babe.
Stop. Stop. Okay, before we get right into things, I want to play a little game just to soften off, you know, the mood a little bit. It's a game of this or that. So literally, I'm going to ask you to pick between two options, this or that. First one, early morning gym or late night plotting?
Late night plotting.
Okay. Let people talk or let me clarify real quick?
Oh. Let me clarify.
So, mum mode or boss mode?
Mum mode.
Big gym, big compromise, or small space, full control?
Small space, full control.
Loved for playing it safe or hated for standing your ground?
Oh, hated for standing my ground.
Okay, period.
Said what I said.
The last one. Change the industry or protect your sanctuary?
Oh, change the industry.
Okay.
That was a good one.
Right. I found that actually quite interesting because firstly, the first one, the second one actually, let people talk or let me clarify real quick. I kind of thought you would immediately go to let me clarify real quick.
Yeah, do you know what it's defo, it depends on what it is. Like, I can let people talk. Have you ever heard of the let them theory? The let them theory is literally what it says on the tin, like, let them talk, basically. And it's just like stepping away, like, you can't control people's dialogues. But I feel like sometimes some things need clarification. I think it's very important to clarify certain things sometimes. And sometimes you just let them talk.
I think you've done a great job at clarifying a lot of things, and I want to break that. We're going to break that. We're going to break everything down. I am like frothing at the mouth just thinking about what we're going to talk about today, because with you, it's so interesting. There's been so many changes. There's been so many things that's kind of occurred throughout the years. So I want to go back a little bit. We're going to go back to like kind of the origin of your story. What do people completely miss when they try to understand Natalee Barnett?
The vision and the mission of everything that I'm doing. Not even just like my gym or anything like that. It's just like the vision and mission of what I'm doing as Natalee Barnett, the vision and mission of like my social media content, like the gym. It's just, I feel like the vision and the mission is so incredibly important to me. It sometimes feels like it'll only be me that fully understands it anyway, because it's so deeply personal. And that's why so many people miss it, because you can't expect people to get the vision and mission the same way that you do anyway. So yeah, I think people miss it, which leads to just misinterpretations in general. Feel like.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say that's what I feel like.
I feel if you could just quite clearly, directly say, okay, this is the purpose, this is the mission, what would that sentence be for you?
In regards to?
The mission and the vision, you're talking about people might miss the vision and the mission of...
As like the gym?
Yeah, no, as Natalee Barnett.
The vision and the mission is literally just changing women's lives. Everything I do online and in real life is to change women's lives, change the next generation. Obviously, I have a daughter. It's literally always just been women at the forefront, bettering women's livelihoods in whatever realm that means. So yeah, just changing women's lives. And I feel like if you go back and look at everything I've done from that lens, you will 100% grasp it a lot better. Because people will obviously create narratives or people will think what they think. But if you genuinely look at all of my stuff across the years and think, does this have anything to do with changing women's lives? It will 100% be in relation to that. So
you grew up with 4 brothers, right?
How'd you know that, babe?
I've done my research, babe.
How do you know?
They sat me down and said, tell me some things about Natalee. I'd be like, hello. Well, you grew up with 4 brothers. I want to know, especially as someone who, you know, you're clearly stating like women and giving women a better opportunity at life, etc., is your thing. I want to know how that connects to the way you were brought up.
Do you know what it is? I think obviously having 4 brothers, being the only girl, like my mum is essentially a boy mum, you know, she's not a girl mum.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes it was quite easy for my mum to not get what I was trying to say. It's a very similar like paradigm with what goes on online. My mum sometimes didn't get what I was saying because she had 4 boys. So I feel like my desire to put women at the forefront is probably a lot more because in the household, it was kind of like I felt a little bit muted, but as you do, because it's 4 brothers, you know, like we're not talking about like, oh, like 2 girls, like 4 brothers is very boisterous, you know, and like as a girl in the household, it is that kind of dynamic where they do overpower you like naturally. So I feel like, what I do right now is very much driven by having so many boy siblings and no girls.
And with having boy siblings, what did that give you?
To be fair, there's a lot of pluses. Like I feel like my independence, which has turned to like hyper independence, which sometimes isn't good, but like I feel like it's given me like an insane level of like confidence, independence. Like I stand my ground. Like anyone that like kind of spoke sideways to my brothers, like they would all kind of like handle it in the way that boys handle things. And obviously seeing that growing up from like young till now, like you very much do tend to take that on board. So like there's definitely positives to just having brothers. Like I'm very, very outspoken, very stand my ground, very said what I said type of.
I'm just wondering, are you in the middle or are you last one?
Second to last,
That is so interesting.
Yeah, second to the last.
You said in an interview, I think it was an interview or maybe it was actually our conversation, but I remember and it really stuck with me where you were talking about if the version of you 8 years ago who was in 6th form saw you today, she would not recognize you because you are a completely different person. Walk me through that. What does that mean?
Me in 6th form, I so distinctly remember it wasn't shy or timid. I actually thought I had social anxiety. It's not even thought, to be fair. I did. I had a really, really bad social anxiety from like early teens till about 6th form time. Like it kind of weaned off after 6th form. And when I look at Natalee then and how much I like can speak in terms of like stand up for myself, said what I said, like, and say it with confidence. I articulate myself well. I could not even, like, looking back at Natalee in 6th form, I'm like, wow, like, she would be so proud because, like, I was so muted, I feel like. Like, I would speak out and stuff perfectly fine, but in my head, there was, like, not that certainty in what I was saying. It's like I was talking to talk rather than talking with, like, conviction. So, when I think about myself back then, I'm like, wow, like, I just unrecognizable. And obviously, I think you go 6th form when you're like 16, 17. So it's not like I was like 10 years old. I was still a very much grown person, somewhat. And she was just so, so incredibly different. I feel like it's wild.
Do you, thinking about that moment, right? So completely different version of you. And now you're here, you're very clear on my direction is woman, you know, in whatever way that's going to take shape. We're going to figure it out, you know, at the end of the road, right? But when you think about that holistically, when did that come to you? When was the moment where you were like, oh no, my thing is woman?
I don't think it was one singular moment. I feel like it's a long kind of series of events. I feel like obviously I went to university, like I've dropped out of university, like I then lived in Manchester by myself. Like there was a lot of times where I had to just hold myself as a woman in like whatever season that was. So I feel like everything, like in terms of like compound interest, that's what it feels like. It's like it's stacked on, and now we are where we are. So it was not one singular moment. I think it was just early adolescence to like, as I kind of went on, just different seasons. Like obviously even now being a mom, like woman is even more like in my face, because now everything I do impacts my daughter. So it's a really long series of events, I feel like.
I want to really get into the crux of your journey, right? But before doing so, as I was doing my research intensively, right, I sat there and I was like, this is crazy. This is like a timeline of like what's gone on in the last 4 or 5 years of Natalee's journey. So before we start to like break things down, like I want to just take a second to really slow things down and tell you a little bit about you and kind of break down like what's happened throughout the years, the things that you publicized or we've seen publicly, right? So January 2021, you publicly started your journey to open a women's gym. Gymshark donated 20k to your GoFundMe. You started building digital products, selling fitness pans, building real community at that point. And then May 2024, things got real loud. Real loud. Mm-hmm. You were accused of using the GoFundMe money for house deposits. The internet spiraled. Everything went crazy. Oh, people were posting videos of your driveway, your revolving car. There was a lot. There was a lot of think pieces. Twitter was really up in flames at that point. Then March 2025, you announced that the Girl Spot will have a space exclusively for biological women. And the noise got even louder. And then March 2025 again, you unveiled the physical space of the Girl Spot gym, sharing updates, interior previews, and everything else on social media, which again went crazy. And then May 2025 again, the pricing conversation began. You announced that the membership was going to be £120, and that became a massive headline, a lot of discussions for a lot of people. And now, today, one of the latest things you shared is that over 30,000 women have expressed interest in joining the Girl Spot. Hearing that out loud, hearing that timeline broken down to you like that, how does that make you feel?
I feel like I'm pleased. I'll be entirely honest. I think everything happens for a reason. I'm a big believer in that. That whole timeline it just adds to the journey. I'm actually very much happy that it was not straightforward. Like, I've always prided myself on authenticity, like sharing BTS, not just the interior, like BTS of being a CEO, being a founder, being a female founder, public opinions, like it all happens for a reason. I think hearing it just kind of like lays out how much of a journey this has been and how much it is still going to be as well. And like, when people I feel like when people think of the Girl Spot, they're like, oh my God, like, she's done it. I'm like, guys, this is like 0.01% of like the overall vision. I can't explain the vision to everyone. Also, not everyone needs to know the vision. Like, that's for me to know. Yeah. But like, it's just not even tip of the iceberg. That doesn't even cover it. It's such a minute part of the overall vision. So yeah, just hearing that journey, I'm like, okay, what's next? I'm like, let's keep going. So yeah.
Let's go back a little bit. I want to get to the moment, or if there was a moment, or if it was, like you said, kind of like a timeline of various things happening. When was the time where you kind of realized, I need to build something like this? This is a must. When did it land in your spirit?
So when I was 19, I think, 18 or 19, first joined the gym when I lived in Croydon at my mum's house. And then I experienced sexual assault inside of a gym. And I remember going on a hunt for women's only gyms, and there was none. And I was like, oh my God, like, my brain's very like busy anyway. So I was like, oh my God, like, there's an empty market here, basically. Yeah. But also from an emotional standpoint, I was like, oh my God, I have to stay at this gym. I could go to Pure Gym, I could go to another gym, but I probably may or very likely would experience this again. And then that's when the first like little noggle like in the back of my brain, I was like, oh, like, I would love to go to a women's only gym. And like, if this doesn't come to like fruition in the future, then maybe I should kind of do it. So yeah, it very much came from an emotional standpoint. I was like, I don't want to experience this. And then it became very much about women. And I was like, oh my God, like, I wonder how much other women have experienced this in the gym, or just typical gym intimidation, gym harassment. And then that's like, yeah, to answer your question, actually, that's probably the woman moment, if I'm entirely honest. I was like, oh my God, there's a greater problem. More women need protection. And then, yeah.
It kind of just spiraled. Yeah. What was your first step when the vision came to you? You know, there's always, I don't know for you, but whenever a vision comes to you, what do you do? Do you call someone and say, hey, I just had this mad idea, I want to bring this to life? Do you tweet? What was your first reaction to that thought?
It stayed, I'm going to be honest, it stayed a thought. Because I was, I think, 18 or 19, I think I was in university. Honestly, that whole period's a blur. Yeah. So I think I came back from University of Birmingham to visit family. So I was in London temporarily, or something along those lines. And it stayed a thought because I was like, oh my God, I know a gym takes serious resources, initiative, drive, like capital. And I was like, I'm not there at all. And I think I was like, I don't think I even did social media then. Like, I probably had,
you weren't even online
I don't think I was really online.
Okay, because you came online like 2020.
Yeah, like, I think, when I lived in Manchester. Yeah, so it was like 2019, 2020, but I was probably online, but it was obviously nothing of this scale. I think it was when like Instagram still had 1 minute like
video,
horizontal videos and stuff. So yeah, it was like around that time period, it stayed a thought. And then I kind of tweeted it, I think like a year later, after I was like really trying to like get into it. But even when I tweeted it, I was still clueless. I still had no plans. I was just saying like, oh, I'm 21, I'm about to open a women's only gym, but the about to was not the truth. I was just like very excited about doing it. I was so naive. And I was just desperate to create a space. Like, I love creating spaces for people. Like, I've always created like group chats for this or for that. And I've done like my skipping challenges and stuff. So I'm really big on creating spaces for people. And that was another way to kind of do that.
I think what's most interesting about you, especially when I was like doing the timeline, is I was looking at all the various people who have had so much to say, people whose mind have changed, people who are still in disagreement. There's been a lot of conversation circulating around you.
Yeah.
You know, I think with any other person, whether man, whether woman, hearing that level of chaos and noise around, you know, something that you're building that hasn't even come to life just yet, it takes a lot of something to carry on and pushing through and trying to make it work. So what was that for you, that thing that still pushed you in that direction to bring this to life regardless of the noise?
The vision and the mission. And this is what I say to people also, like from a business perspective, if you have your vision, your mission and your passion, there could be so much noise and you're good to go. Like with the online conversations, unless it is somebody that understands my vision to a T, can I only take that opinion fully on board. If you are not doing what I'm doing in terms of trying to open a gym or create a space, I can't take what you're saying. It's just an opinion and everyone's entitled to have their opinion. So for me, that's what sometimes people say to me. They're like, how the hell have you kept going with all this public opinion? And it's because like, guys, like I know the vision and this is 0.01%. Like people are talking about 0.01%. My brain's at 100%. I'm like, I see when this is a global franchise, when so many women feel safe, so many people are like, wow, like thank God for this space and like what Natalee has done. Like, you know, when, for example, like David Lloyd, nobody knows David.
Yeah.
That's
Do you know what? I literally watched a video of someone saying that today.
Like, that's what I want to be. I want people to be like, oh my God, I go to the girl spot in whatever country. Like, I feel safe. And I know that some woman called Natalee Barnett started it. That's what I want to be. Like, you don't need to know me. You just need to know that there's a space for you. And somebody at some point in time fought for you to have that safe space. And now you have it. So yeah, I'm just like, the vision and the mission is so much bigger than Twitter, these online conversations. Like and you have to remember, like, the public opinion, the negativity, it's so much louder than all of the support. Like, different platforms have different things. Twitter is Twitter. Like, I can never go on Twitter and expect to see something positive anyway. TikTok is sometimes hit and miss. Like, TikTok reminds you of like bandwagon. People kind of jump on it. Like, my Instagram, is very rare that I'll get a negative DM or someone sends me hate. My Instagram is beyond positive. And those are the people that I do it for. Those are the people that have followed my whole journey. Those are the people that have bought guys to support me. Those are the people that know that Natalee got this house at this time, so there's no way that she could have spent. Do you know what I mean? Like, those are the people that know. And the people on Twitter, they don't follow me on social. They don't follow me on TikTok or Instagram. They don't know anything. So I can't get like held up on people's opinions that they don't know me. They don't even know the vision. It's just kind of like talking to just have an opinion on a social media topic. So
I think that thing that you said is so true, and I think it can really help a lot of people and set a lot of people free. That understanding that unless you're at a point where you have complete clarity, complete understanding of your vision, of your why, your ability to continue moving will not happen. Because even, you know, before we started filming, we were having that conversation about me. We were talking about, oh, why haven't I seen this? It's like, you've never really gotten to a point where you're firm in understanding this is the why and this is, you know what I mean? And that's the thing that really, truly fuels you and allows you to like cut through the noise regardless.
Yeah, I think I was very lucky in the sense that I knew my why from day dot. And I think it's because it came from that sexual assault. Like, it was like, I have to do something about this, and I'll be damned if like this continues happening and I stand there idle. Like, the devil will always find work for idle hands. I am not going to stay idle when it comes to stuff like this at all. So yeah, like it's, vision and mission and passion is just all you need. I feel like in your pocket and you're good to go.
You're 26.
Yeah.
Which is very young.
Just turned 26.
Just turned 26. And I really want to talk about just the reality. I want us to really talk about the reality of the business side of things now. I want people to really understand what it takes. And you can take it wherever you want to take it, whether you want to take it from a business or emotional standpoint. I want to understand what it takes to build something like this at the age of 26.
What do you mean what it takes? As in like...
So again, completely up to you. So you can take it in the direction of emotionally what it's taken, or you can take it from a business standpoint, what it's taken, the people that you needed to connect with, the strength that you needed to carry, the level of like research that you needed to do.
Do you know what? I think people kind of undermine how much it's taken. Again, nobody will understand it unless you've been in somebody's shoes or been in my shoes. Like, what is taken from like, even a business perspective. I kid you not, raising investment is the most insane thing ever. To get that many no's, like some people will scrap their whole business idea after the first no. I easily got like 100 no's.
No.
Easily, because you have to remember, a lot of investors are men. If I'm opening a women's only gym, it doesn't even appeal to them anyway.
Yeah.
It's like, what is their business having a piece of the pie in a women's only gym? Also, from a business perspective, a lot of them are like, oh, so like another pure gym. And like again, vision and mission. I was like, oh my God, for people to ever even think, like, again, nothing against Pure Gym have their target audience.
Yeah.
But for you to think that what I'm building even aligns with like most commercial gyms, it just fundamentally does not, because women's safety is at the forefront. But like the investment side was so incredibly rough. I know a guy that was also raising investment for his business, and he developed vitiligo from the stress of raising investment. Like, it's tough. Like, yeah, so it was a lot of no's. It was a lot of like people not getting the vision, not getting the mission and stuff. Obviously, I was trying to raise investment for like 4 years, and it was a very long-winded time. And it was like, I probably spent like thousands on networking events. I was constantly going to networking events, buying the next like kind of like, not suit, but like the next outfit to kind of like make a good impression and like speaking to these people. I was going to tech events. A gym is nowhere near tech, but I was going there because I was like, I need to find somebody. And again, what we were speaking about prior to the interview, gap in the market. There's not enough female investors. Like, that's what I needed. In order for someone to grasp what I was trying to say, I probably needed a female investor. And even them, like, they are very far and few. And when they do exist, they're probably like VCs. So VCs are for like the big bucks, basically. And I didn't even need big money to kind of do what I was doing. So it was a really, really difficult time period. So getting all of those no's alongside people that were trying to undermine the business at the same time. Like, people sitting there on Twitter saying like, this gym's still not open. Why is it not open? And me reading that and then going to so many networking events, it's like people just didn't even know what was going on behind closed doors. Like, people were genuinely sitting there telling me that this gym is never going to open. And it was like for no other reason than just to talk online. And I knew how hard I was working to get it open. And because I'm so deeply passionate about it, like, it was such a surreal time for people to continually like knock it, and you know how hard you're kind of working. So
what did you do during that time? When you know, in the stage where you're bang in the middle, you know, you're working so hard, you're striving so hard to like get the money, the funding that you need, and then you also had people like bashing you. What was your safe haven in that period, in that middle point?
I think like I'm just a kind of like strong-willed person anyway. Like, I will keep going. Like, I faced a lot of adversity in just my personal life in general. So I feel like I just had no choice but to keep going. And because I was like, oh my God, like, again, it's public opinion. I had to keep reminding myself, it's just public opinion. And like, a lot of it was, like I said, solely on Twitter. If I feel like my genuine followers were coming to me and saying, Natalee, your gym's not open, I'd be like, oh my God, like, this is a tough place. But whilst people on Twitter were saying what they were saying, my followers were saying to me, Natalee, like, I don't even know why you're stressed. Like, some people take like 5 years to open your business. Like, they were giving me that middle ground. Like, Natalee, you've just started this. You're like 22 years old. Like, what? You don't even know a gym owner that's 22, you know? So in my head, it's like I put myself on a super high kind of like, held myself to a high standard and beat myself up sometimes. Like, why is it not open? And I was like, what 22-year-olds do I know that's trying to raise investment for their business? Like, it's not even a norm. So yeah, I just had to kind of remind myself on that note, I think, yeah.
So then at the point where you were getting these no's from, you know, raising investment, what did you do next? What was the turning point to get to this point?
I remember when I lived in Colchester, I was like, okay, like, this is enough no's, basically. And like I said, I'm just going to take it into my own hands. And then that's when I kind of thought of, okay, how can I tie in my like influence, my industry I'm in, which is fitness, and kind of like generate revenue. So I started selling low priced workout guides. Because I was like, okay, that's social media, that's like easy, digital products kind of easy to do. And I was like, I know people will buy it because I'm a fitness influencer and it's fitness related. So I created 3 guides. They were like £3, £4 or £5, kept them obviously low tier so that people, they would happily buy it whether they use it or not. And then sold it. And then like, it just kind of like went. And I ended up generating like £45,000 in a few months. And I would have loved to put that in my bank account. And I could have, because that's my income of essence, but I chose to put that into the girl spot. So yeah, like, people were just buying those guides and stuff. And like, I've always been good at like marketing and FOMO. Like, I made people kind of like have that FOMO around not having one of the guides and stuff. And also some people were purchasing it because they were happy to support like the cause. So yeah, so that was like my turning point. I was like, okay, what am I going to do to basically make this into what I need to, basically.
And so then it kind of brings us to where we're at right now, where you've recently announced like the price point of the gym membership, right?
Yeah.
And hearing you express and say all of these things now, it puts things into even further perspective for me, especially. And I'm pretty sure for you, by the time we break this down, you know, you have people who don't know the ins and out of what the overhead, for example, looks like, or what the emotional journey, but also like the financial compensation kind of looks like throughout, you know, the years, and you get into this point. How are you dissecting people's perspective on how much you're charging for the membership?
It's just like a price point on anything is never by one factor. So like, for example, people will comment and they'll say, well, like, my gym is this, or you should have these amenities. And like, that's their reason why the price should or shouldn't be something. But a price point was never based on solely amenities.
Yeah.
Or some people will be like, okay, but guys, like, her gym is in London. Like, London's so expensive, which is very true. But that's also not the sole factor of what, like, a price point is so many things. And again, like, when it comes to public opinion, like I said, if gym owners were telling me, gym owners that are doing something similar to me, or gym owners that just own a gym were telling me, oh, Natalee, like, that's too expensive, or that's too cheap, blah, 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 I would take it on board. All of the gym owners I've spoken to told me I should be charging closer to 200.
Wow.
That's gym owners, like, people that are in my industry, people that know the overheads, and I've priced it at 120. And like I said, again, price is not the sole factor anyway. But like, this is a gym in London. Like, we spoke before about the reason why people live on the outskirts, the reason why people like live in, like, want a house or live in an apartment or whatever, is because London's so ridiculously expensive. And I have a commercial property in the heart of London. Like, we're in Wandsworth. Like, the overheads are wild. So yeah, like, when I see people's opinions, I'm just like, guys, like, you just don't know. It's that same thing that's gone on for years. You just don't know. You didn't know the vision and mission. The vision and mission is now here. Now you want to find another thing to talk about. It's like the price point. And like I said in my TikTok in response, like, whatever I priced it at, somebody would have a problem. Like,
100%.
I can't win. Not even that I can't win. Business owners can't win, kind of like in general. Like, somebody's not going to be happy with something. And like, where my gym is, like, it's full of independent gyms. So that's another factor.
Oh, amazing.
I as a business owner have to take on board. Yeah. I'm now in competition with the independent gyms in my area. Yeah. If I now undersell myself, granted, none of them are women only, but if I now undersell myself, then they will just, like, it's a difficult place to basically be in, and I won't be able to keep the doors open. And I think I wrote in a LinkedIn post that there's a High Rocks gym that's 5 minutes from my gym, and they charge like £145 a month for 8 classes in a month, just 8 classes. And it's a High Rocks gym, meaning there's not like equipment in there like mine. It's just like group classes. Okay. That's 8 classes, 145. I haven't seen any discourse or any public opinion about that High Rocks gym, and it's just the same stuff.
But I guess, though, the good thing is that, you know, I think it was shortly after then you came online and you announced like the 30,000 people who had signed up. I feel like those are the things that make it so much more worth it.
Yeah, and I feel like people should understand that every time, I believe that obviously not everything will be for you anyway. Like, the same way, like, for example, I said, I don't go David Lloyd's because saunas and all that is not for me. Yeah. But every time people choose to like bring something back up and talk about it, you simply push the gym and me further to the people that want to be there. Yes. So like, for example, when I released my pricing till like 2 days later now, I think I've had like 600 women register their interest. That's 600 women that will pay 120. Do you know what I mean? Like, excluding like the rest of the 30,000 that probably do have that in their budget or maybe don't have that in their budget. Like, you are solely going to push the business towards the people that it's actually for, or for the people that can afford it, or whatever is in their budget. So yeah, like, it's like, I don't know, like I said, I don't know a single gym that has 30,000 people on there, like, who have registered their interest to join. Like, it's a very unique position to be in. So yeah, I'm very proud of myself on that note. I think it's insane.
I'm glad you said you're proud of yourself, because I was just about to say, like, you can tell, just even thinking back to like the start of the conversation, where you can see there's been a wave. There's like young Natalee who's had to learn this, being in this environment, and learn how to like stand up for herself and, you know, fight for things. And then you're in this position. You start out so young. Yeah. There's so much about your journey that's so interesting. Your journey speaks a lot of truth to timing. Like, timing.
My goodness.
It's one thing I'm hearing.
I'm so happy it took me 4 years of no's to get an investor. If I had when I see the Girl Spot on today's date and the emotions that people have when they step in that building, what that place means to people, I would have never, ever have been able to create that at 21 years old when I tweeted that. Oh my God. If I had been handed a commercial property at 21 years old, the doors would be closed within like a couple months. Like, and not even just the doors would be closed, it wouldn't even be as impactful as it is today. Like, for example, inside the gym, there's Kalani's Corner, my daughter's name.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have Kalani's Corner at 21 years old. That wouldn't exist. I wouldn't even think to have a chill area inside of my gym in the name of something or have it represent something because I wasn't a mum yet. Yeah. And like, it's so funny because on the note of timing, I always said, I'm not going to have a child until the gym is here. And then I had a child and now the gym is here. Like, it literally went the opposite way. And I remember viewing that property that I'm in now, 4 weeks postpartum, fresh out of C-section, like Kalani was tiny. And it was such a surreal moment because I was standing in there viewing a property with the child I said I wouldn't have until I have the gym. And now, again, on the note of timing, Kalani had to be on this journey with me. Like, that's what I'm taking from all of this. I was never, ever supposed to do this without her here. I was never, ever supposed to do it, like, without what being a mum now means and how I view women, like, differently and more important. Like, she has kind of, like, been such a huge crux of it. So yeah, timing has been like impeccable in terms of like how it's kind of all rolled out. Like it's so wild to me, honestly.
I want to dissect that just a little bit further.
Sure, babe.
Your daughter and like what not necessarily motherhood, but what's the thing that she's brought into this?
Do you know what it is? It's like I was doing this for women. When I think of women, I just kind of think like 16, 18 plus. Yeah. But now my brain is like, oh, next generation. So, I said women. Nobody knows David. That's the same thing. I want Kalani's generation to not know me. Yeah. They just know that the Girl Spot was created by someone called Natalee and she just made it work and like she went through all these like kind of trials and tribulations and now she's here. So my brain kind of goes backwards because I'm like, first of all, on a funny note, I'm like, Kalani was born in 2024. Like, that's her birthday. That's wild. Like, I'm like 1999. I'm like 2024. So I'm like, in my brain, I'm like, oh my God, I want the 2024-year-old like people to grow up and have that safe space. So my brain was kind of like forwards before having a baby, like women upwards. And now my brain's like, oh my God, no, like I can change the trajectory for the younger generation so that like, when like they're 18 and they first start the gym, if they don't feel comfortable around men or don't feel comfortable in a mixed gym, they don't have to be there because they have the option that I did not have. Yeah. And that was the problem. And that's the problem I'm trying to solve. I did not have a choice. I had to go to another mixed gym. I had to stay at my gym and I couldn't leave that and go elsewhere. So yeah, she's changed like how I view how big this kind of project is, to be fair.
And to go back to the origin story a little bit more, right? One thing I was also thinking about in relation to like timing is also knowledge, understanding, wisdom, like as naturally it would progress over the last 4 years, right? And one thing that really stands out to me is the level of growth that it would have taken for you to get to this point, not just from like emotional growth, but also financial understanding, how to be a leader. Who the heck are the people that you need on board to really allow you to bring this thing to life? Because I'm thinking about 2020, Natalee, which would have been what, 21?
21, yeah.
Which would have been 21. I'm thinking about myself as 2021. What? What are we talking about when we're talking about business, you know? So I want to know who were the people that you needed, like who were the people who you saw helped you grow to this level of understanding? Because how do you go from a young babe who's just on Twitter like, I want to build, a women's only gym, into a woman who's able to have the keys in her hand, be able to understand all the aspects that it takes to really sustain a business like this?
Babe, I'm not going to lie, there's not any single person at all. Like, I feel like a lot of people, again, that's why when you said you have 4 brothers, I was like, how the hell do you know that? Because people actually think I'm a single child, like a literally single child, no siblings. I have always been a lone wolf. Even when I went to University of Birmingham, I didn't really make friends because I didn't want to be in like sharing accommodation. So I had like a studio and stuff. And I very much kept myself to myself. And then I left University of Birmingham, went to Manchester and lived by myself. Like I've always kind of been by myself until like I met my partner. Yeah. So I feel like if I'm to give anyone the accolades, it's myself. Like I kid you not, it was just personal growth. And I feel like every single adversity is what took me to the next level. And I feel like, again, like even public opinion, like when people do have their opinions, it simply drives me to just do more. Like I know normally if somebody had this level of public opinion, they'd probably be like, you know what, like let's take a back seat. Yeah, like that's enough. Like I don't think I can do this. In my brain, I'm like, oh my God, like I now have to like triple this like output. That's the way my kind of brain goes. So I haven't ever really had someone that I could like talk to, take me to the next level, like elevate me. Like it's never really been that. And like even friendship wise, I've really struggled because like love my friends, but like none of them are doing something of this kind of like scale, which means like when I do this, I'm doing it solo. And it was really difficult at some time periods because I would love to sit down, vision board, what's our goals? Like how can you help me get a girl spot? How can I help you do this stuff? And it was never there.
Was that quite isolating for you?
Yeah, like I feel like that's why I'm hyper independent, to be fair. Like I do everything by myself, even with a partner. Like I need to kind of break out of that hyper independence and stuff. And yeah, it was quite isolating. I feel like that's why I just moved to Manchester off a whim, because it's like I'm always by myself.
Yeah, I already feel isolated.
Yeah, like I already feel isolated. I was like, oh, it doesn't really make a kind of like social difference to me, even though all of my like family were in London. So yeah, I've always done stuff by myself, and I just feel like I just kept growing in terms of personal growth, like myself. Like how can I, like one thing I really chose to like lean into was like articulation, learning how to articulate what exactly I'm trying to say. Like that's how I kind of fed into the like I said what I said kind of brain, in terms of like I don't want to ever be like no, like I said, like I really always wanted to pride myself on like speaking clearly. This is what I meant, this is what I said, especially on like the clarification thing. The articulation and how much time I spent on that is what feeds into that, because I've worked so hard on how to articulate myself. I want to be able to clarify things once and like get it done, nip it in the bud. But yeah, to answer your question, like honestly, I don't think there's been anyone specific that's kind of gotten me here. It's just like everything I've faced in my personal life, online, being a social media influencer, like even my social media following and how rapidly that grew. Like, oh my God, I think I gained 1 million followers in a month in 22 years ago, I think. Like from my mic videos, that's 1 million people that now know me. Like, yeah, very surreal. So I think it's just everything basically in conjunction that kind of got me to where I am.
You know what? I don't know. Randomly, I'm just thinking like, what does Natalee do to have her moment of just like, her moment of just rest? Does she have that?
No, actually, no, like I kid you not. Obviously, when I was on the phone to you and you was like, oh, I love it early, babe. That's because I wake up at 4:30. Like I back to back, babe. Like, especially since having a baby, like it's just routine, back to back, back to back. But like, I love this. Like I don't really, sometimes it's hard physically, but I don't really see this as work. And again, it's vision and the mission. Like, how can I see? I'm so thankful that I am tired from creating my women's only gym. I could be tired from like, when I was 16, I worked in Sainsbury's. I could be tired from doing something I fundamentally didn't want to do. So I'm so grateful that my tiredness, my ability to not switch off is because I'm creating something as impactful as the Girl Spot Gym. And that's what keeps me grounded. Like the vision is just in every single thing that I do. I feel like just sitting on the sofa with Kalani, for example, like when she's just like jumping and bouncing, like that's my kind of switch off now, even though we're still kind of doing something. Like, for example, after this, I can't wait to go home and just sit on the sofa with her for like at least an hour. So that's kind of like my temporary switch off. But I love being in go mode. I love kind of like being spread thin. Like it's being spread thin for what matters. And like when I think about the bigger picture, I'm like, one day I will just sit down and like I might be in my 40s or whatever. And like I'll know the Girl Spot is like here. And like people are just tapping their fob, going inside. They have their safe space. So right now, like similar to you said, like, you know what this year means for you. In this time period, I'm like, I know what it means. Like, might be tired, but I could be tired from doing something I don't want to do. So I'm so thankful I'm tired from doing something that I do want to do.
So I think on the part, you know, when I was saying initially about feeling isolated, right? I think women naturally who are hyper go-getters and, you know, I want to wake up at 4 a.m. I want to work out. I want to do all the things that I want to do. When you have a partner in your life, and I say this from experience too, because when you get a partner in your life and you're someone who's always on the go, it's very hard to find that like middle ground where you're able to be a submissive partner, a feminine woman to that your partner needs, versus boss mode, you know, go. How's that journey been for you?
Do you know, it's really difficult. And with the added layer of having a child, because even if either of us had a business, you're in full go mode all the time because you have a little baby now. So it's really, really hard individually and then also together with a baby. But my partner is my partner because he is how I am. So he's fully go mode. If he did not have a business, if he didn't kind of had that drive, we probably wouldn't be together. So he's full like go mode as well. Like he does like social media management. He does like, he played basketball in the States. So I can't remember the countries, like Arizona or whatever. So he's like full go mode with his basketball business, his social media, and like I'm full go mode. Like we have our joint calendar, like we chuck things in. Whoever's got something with, like not with Kiki, like we kind of have that go mode kind of balance. But it has been difficult, I think. And also the transition into parents, like just finding that time to like switch off and be together, like no work, no baby. It's really, really hard. And I'll 100% say we're not there yet in terms of being able to do that. And obviously with me, like I wake up so early, I'm always working, like either on site or at home. Like it's been hard. We've had to have a lot of conversations about like how much TGS is taking up time. Like it's a lot, like it really is.
How's your response been to those conversations? And
his
response?
Yeah, because like I'm hyper aware of it. Like I know, because like again, like I was talking about the transition from like influencer to like business owner. I know how much free time I had as just an influencer, and now how little I have as an influencer and like a business owner. So I'm aware of being spread thin. And it's just trying to find that balance, because where I'm at right now with TGS is go mode. Like we're obviously nearing opening. And I feel like once we open, I can step back a bit. But this whole period, like the last couple months, it had to all be at my discretion. I couldn't get Sarah to go down there and liaise with the contractors. My heart and soul is inside TGS, which means I had to be there. So yeah, I've had a positive response to it, but it doesn't mean that we are where we need to be type of thing. Like we need to really carve out time for each other. I need to step back. I need to reevaluate certain things and switch off from boss mode, because boss mode is very much masculine energy. You know, like it's not, there's nothing feminine about being like full boss mode. So it's a really, really hard kind of thing. And then it's like, I get home from TGS and it's like Kiki's crying, and then it's like her bath time, and then it's like feed her, and it's bottle, and then like she's 9 months, well, coming up to 9 months. So it's like, I have to wean her, and it's like, what can she eat? And it's just constant kind of like go mode. And it's wild. It is incredibly, incredibly difficult being that kind of businesswoman and trying to show up in your relationship as well, for sure.
How has he been towards it?
So incredibly supportive. Like, when people say to me, like, how have you like done what you've done in the last 4 months? It's because of him.
Wow.
Like literally, because I could bring Kiki on site, but obviously when there was like building works going on, she couldn't be on site. And like, if we didn't, we'd have to fork out a lot of money for like childcare and all of that. So like, he can do everything he does from home anyway, which is super, super helpful, because then he can be with Kiki and get what he needs to kind of get done. He only kind of needs his laptop at this time. And obviously I now have brick and mortar, so I have to be on site. So yeah, like he honestly took to it so easily. Yeah, really, really well. And I think he just gets it because he gets business. Like he is always handling his business as well. I think trying to explain the vision and the mission to somebody that didn't want to kind of build their own and grow, it'd be so impossible is the word, literally. So
one thing I also want to just like double down with, since we're talking about relationships, is also just like community, because in my life I recognize there's nothing I'm able to do without certain people or like communities around me, right? And I want to kind of get a better picture of what that looks like in your life. And you know, you were initially talking about like the isolation of it, that I'm like, I don't want that for you. Yeah. I don't want that for you at all.
Do you know what it's like? I would say it's not isolation now. It was isolation when I was 21 years old.
Okay.
I don't see it as isolation at all. Like, quite frankly, I enjoy being like not having many people around me. It sounds insane, but I think it's because my social media life is so loud.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not talking about public opinion or controversy. I have 2.5 million followers. Like, it's loud. Everything I post is comments and views and reshares and opinions, and I need to be able to just like silence. Like, that's why I said like I love like living outskirts. I like being near a farmer's field. I like the peace and quiet, because I can't have a busy life and the same. So I think for me, like, for example, my aunt is like, so when I was in university and I was like really depressed and stuff with certain stuff, like obviously university is a wild time, like she kind of like stepped in and stuff a lot, and like she's like my proper safe haven. Like I think I call her like 4 times a day. I kid you not. FaceTime her, like talk about what's going on at TGS, talk about this, talk about that. So her, like my aunts, my like family and stuff, they are very much like the village that they talk about. I think like after giving birth, like they would come over, like not even to like see the baby, like they like chop down the bamboo in my garden, like they like mop the floor, swept and that stuff. So yeah, like when I think about communities, like my partner, my immediate family, and then like my aunts and a few other people, but it's very minute. Like it's not a huge community at all, but I'm okay with it. Like it's that kind of quality over quantity type of vibe.
100%, as it should be. Yeah. How has it been like, just thinking about like baby Kalani, who, you know, who's trying to find her voice amongst 4 older brothers, her mom, who's also a strong Black woman. How do they react now to Natalee, to the woman you are today?
do you know what it is? It's like behind closed doors. It's so funny. I remember when I spoke to someone from my sixth form and they literally said to me, they were like, Natalee, like, you're still a waste man. And like but they meant it in a way where it's like, honestly, but they were like, you still act exactly the same as you did. Like a lot of people do describe me as humble. Like you're not going to go on my Instagram and see me like flaunting this and flashing that. Like I feel like people that know me from back then have the same reaction to me because Natalee never changed. Like I always refer to myself as like Nat, like younger Nat. I was like, I never really changed. Like in essence, like my outside external world, what's going on in here, it never really changed. So I feel like they all have a similar reaction and stuff. And I think that is also what allows me to switch off because they don't treat me as Natalee B Fitness. I always say there's a very stark difference between Natalee Barnett and Natalee B Fitness. And people know this one. They do not know this one. And it's okay for them not to know it. Like that's me in my personal life. Yeah. But I think, them still treating me as like Nat from back in the day is what kind of keeps me grounded and what doesn't make me kind of feel like I have to be in this all the time because it's draining. I think showing up as your online personality all the time, it is draining. Like I'm like, and again, people forget you're a real person, you know, they forget that you have a personal life, that you have opinions, that certain comments can have an impact on you, like they forget it.
I want to move things into where we're at now in this season of life where you've overcome, you know, that level of discourse, global discourse, and you're now at a point where you're about to launch the gym spot to the public in a huge way. How are you feeling now? Where are you at now emotionally? All of it.
Oh, to be fair, like I feel amazing. I'm just nervous because like, again, people forget that the girl spot is like my second baby. I am terrified of having people in there when I'm not in there. I'm like, I just want to sit in there and watch everybody, make sure nobody's touching the walls. You barely touch the equipment. Like, I'm like, oh my God, like this is like, even bar finances and capital, I'm like, oh my God, like my heart is in this. So I feel very, very excited about people experiencing it, but I'm so like nervous because I pray that people kind of like take care of it and treat it and know how much effort's kind of like gone into that. But no, I'm very excited because like I said, it took over 4 years to get here. Like people don't know what it feels like to grind for something for 4 years and then now you're kind of like there. On top, like I feel like even if I didn't do social media, a journey of 4 years to now launching your business is surreal for anyone, let alone the amount of naysayers, the amount of people that try to knock you and humble you, like all of that. And I'm still standing there like about to open the door with 30,000 women on like the interest list is insane. So yeah, very, very excited. I'm in a really good place, to be fair. And like I said, I know not many people would be given like recent like events, but no, I'm so proud of myself. Like it's surreal. And then on top of all of that, being a mum, like people that I've offered their opinions aren't even, they don't even know what it would even take to show up every day for your child, your relationship and the gym and build a team and the admin. Like I said to you before, I don't have a PA, I don't have a VA, I don't have anything. Everything is me. So yes, very excited.
I saw your LinkedIn post. I don't know how long ago it was, but I think that was the first time you spoke like openly about the how hard it is to balance being a mother, being a this, being a that. I think you talk about, I know we've spoken about it like loosely, but I feel like there's definitely a lot there because I see this conversation. I'm not a mother. And I know I already find it hard to balance my life right now. So the baby in a mix, I don't know if I survive. So I want to know, you know, what does it look like on a day-to-day, like trying to balance all of that?
Do you know what it is? It's like, I think I wrote in one of my LinkedIn posts before, like doing meetings during nap times. Like that's such a crucial part of like navigating things, like taking her where you can take her, like having my partner step in when you can step in. Like it's I think mentally it's just 24/7, but physically it's just trying to like find loopholes. That's what it feels like. Trying to figure out kind of like where you can slot certain things in. But like, again, like even when it gets tough, I look at her and I think, oh my God, like, you're going to be in the girl spot one day. I have to keep going. I genuinely look at her and I think, oh my God, now I have no choice. If I gave up on this right now, I give up on my daughter and I'll be absolutely damned if I ever did that. So yeah, it's a lot being a mum. Like I think, like I said, I just turned 26 and stuff. Like I see why women have children later on. Like, and I've spoken to so many women. I'm like, take your time. Like, don't rush because like I never realized how full on it is. Like when you fall pregnant, it's like, oh, baby bum. And then you're like, oh my God, my labor. And obviously I didn't get the labor that I wanted as well. So it's just like, it's all of that. Like it's a lot, you know, like it really, really is a lot. But again, on the flip side, and what so many mums will say is that although it's all of that, it's just the best thing. ever. Like, I think being a mum is genuinely the best thing ever. I get why people are stay-at-home mums. It's a full-time job. You're just in it, like all the tears. Like Kalani started like with her little tantrums and stuff, and I'm like, like, girl, we're too early. I'm like, babe,
please let me launch.
No, honestly, I'm like, can I launch my business there? But yeah, no, like it is a lot, but I love every part of it, like the ups and the downs. So yeah,
I feel like you're about to enter a whole different. You've entered like shift 1, and now with opening up, it's about to be shift 2. And thinking about that, you know, earlier you were talking about people don't right now. It's kind of like level 1 in terms of the scope that you see this business going, like the places that you want to take it. In our conversation, I'm not going to say exactly where you want to plant the next seeds, but you've dropped it here and there about, you know, having franchises all over the world. So talk to me about what that looks like for you right now.
Like I said, because I think it's the 30,000 women that have registered their interest, and that's 30,000 women that have the ability to get to the Wandsworth site.
Wow.
So if this was a global interest list, it would be way over 100K immediately. Because I always say there's not a single country, town or city where there's not women that would appreciate a women's only gym. Like I can train in a mixed gym now, but I would appreciate a women's only gym. So that's why I say my goal is to franchise globally, because I'm like, there's women. I have women in like depths of Atlanta that are like, please come here. And I'm like, oh my God, like it feels like pressure, but like the best pressure, you know? It's like, I really got to kind of do this. So for me, I'm like strategically trying to figure out next site. And like I said, I've spoken about it online already. Like I really want to kind of do Birmingham, Manchester, like Leeds, like the main cities, and also the smaller cities, like the Shire, I call them the Shires, like Lancashire and Buckinghamshire and all of that, because there's women everywhere that would want to train in a women's only space, you know? So yeah, and then I want to franchise. I want to go to like Dubai, like I said. I desperately want to go to Dubai, because obviously the religion over there, the culture over there, like it would land really well. Yeah, they would thrive. And there's women only gyms over there already. And then like, yeah, like the States and stuff, like it's a global project. And that's why like, when people do choose to talk about it negatively, I'm like, you're not even on the journey, to be fair. Like, if you thought it was beginning and ended in Wandsworth, you're not even on the journey. Like, by the time I get to Birmingham or Manchester, like, you'll be on to the next thing, really. So, yeah, like, it's just a global project. Like, it's huge. Like, oh, my God. Even when I think about me and Kalani, like, we are just a fraction of what the total kind of goal is.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think going back again, just on the topic of like community and the people that you might need, one thing that you posted on your story the other day that I found interesting, we spoke about it just loosely off camera, but just talking about management and needing that, well, not necessarily needing per se, but wanting, desiring that's someone to, you know, help you evolve the business.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that. You said you had not an interest, but like you like the way Molly May's management navigated things.
So yeah, in Molly's documentary, obviously the second part that's released, and her manager was saying how every year they sit down, they vision board, they goal set, and then her manager said it's then her duty to take Molly to the next level. And I think for me, like I'm in a completely different season of my life. Like I'm not just a fitness influencer. When I introduce myself now, I have to say fitness influencer and like gym owner or business owner now. Like it's a very different scope.
Yeah.
And I so desperately want a manager that sees like that vision that I just said to you about that global impact, and has a desire, because you can take me there, but you might just be doing it for financial gain, but you genuinely have a desire to take me there, to help me scale. You have the skill set. You just want to be part of something that's going to be so grand. And I was saying before, like people hit glass ceilings when it comes to their managers and their agencies and stuff. And I think people should talk about it more, because I don't think it's a bad thing, you know, like it's the same as outgrowing a friend. Like, it just means that you've grown. And I think that's one of the most positive things that you can kind of do. So yeah, I really want that aspect. I think that's the next thing I kind of want, because it's a very different scope. Going from social media, TikToks, Instagram, to brick and mortar, it requires somebody in your corner for sure. Like I said, I've been a lone wolf. Now I'm here. I can't do this alone. Like I need to have people in my corner. So yeah.
I wasn't actually going to go here, but as you were speaking, like I want to ask you.
I know, I can see your brain ticking every time I talk. I'm like, something.
What are you thinking about? You know what? I think just because as the more we've spoken, actually, let me start from here. If you look from the outside looking in, you can be like, oh, this girl has like a massive vision. There's a lot she's trying to bring to life. I think right now in this conversation, I'm sure for anybody watching, it's like, oh, there is a lot more like depth to this. There is a lot that you're, trying to bring to life. And for me, I know the stuff that I'm trying to create, and I know that I would not be able to carry the weight of the things without my faith leading me. And so I want to know, because we haven't touched on, that's like your anchors, like the things that really, what truly deeply anchors you. So I wanted to see where you're at with your faith, and if that has played any role in you bringing this to life.
No, at all. So I'm not religious at all. My whole family are religious, not my immediate. It's like my mum, my brothers. But to be fair, I can't really speak in them. No, they may. But when I was like in my mum's house, none of us were like religious or like had a faith. The rest of my family, so my aunts and all of that are. But I've spoken about this publicly. Like if I was to take up a religion, it would likely be Islam. Just for personal, like a lot of like personal reasons and stuff. But I can't say that faith or religion has grounded me because I'm not there yet. Like it's quite a journey. Like as you know, like with religion and stuff, like I think my family have an influence because they are religious. They are Christians, they're not Muslim. Yeah. But I think, again, even that does somewhat play a role into the girl spot as well. Like, because if I was religious, I would take up Islam. I hold Muslim women in a very high regard. And I know Muslim women out of most demographics would probably appreciate a women's only gym. So it's played a part in that aspect, I think. But I can't say that. Stop smiling. I'm like, what's the next one?
I'm just lying.
But I can't say, that faith and that has grounded me as of yet. And I will never say like it never will. Like I said, I don't know what my journey kind of entails. So
I'm excited for you.
Thank you, babe.
I feel like the great thing about your journey is that you're very upfront about the levels, the growth. And I think that's actually why things are proven to be so successful. Because I really feel like there are a lot of people who feel like they have been with you from the beginning of this.
Yeah, like, and the amount of DMs I get, like, for example, even the pricing thing, something as minuscule as that. People are like, Natalee, don't worry about your pricing. Like, DMing me, like, I've been here since you were, like, living in your mum's house. Wow. I know you've worked so hard to get here. You charge what you like. Like, those are the people that, like, anchor me on and, like, are telling me, like, no, do it. Like, so many people are like, you should be charging 150. You should be charging 160. Like, we know how much effort and, like, again, like on that note of like finances, my gym has cost me over 100 grand. Like I've put in over, probably now to today's day, I've probably put about shy of 70 grand of my own money in. Like, this is like a heart project, And like when you think about business, your input, then your output now needs to also match that. So yeah, like it's a lot. It's a lot of opinions and stuff. But like I said, it's all part of the journey. It also all shapes the journey. And stuff. And I think like when I first announced the gym, I think it was Feb 2nd, and I tweeted it in thread form, and the tweet underneath, the main tweet was about public opinion, and I posted like 3 people's tweets that tried to discredit me across the last kind of like 4 years. And I remember someone saying like, if my like hate tweet was part of someone's testimony, I would lose my mind. And that's how I see this. I'm like, all of these negative comments are just part of my testimony. Like, you really are making the journey what it is. Like, you are simply pushing me towards the people that really grasp the vision and the mission.
I love this. I'm so proud of you, and I'm so happy for you. I'm very excited, like, to see, number one, how the launch goes.
Yeah.
Number 2, how as a businesswoman you're gonna strategize and really like bootstrap this in a way that you need to.
Yeah.
I just feel like you're at one level of growth now, and what's about to happen next.
Yeah. I
beyond.
Yeah, I can feel it, honestly. I'm like,
Bless you.
I'm very keen to scale quickly. Like I said, 30,000 women on the wait list, like all of this global interest. I'd be naive if I sat idle. So I need to just really get it cracking, honestly. But like I said, I'm excited to also step away ever so slightly once the gym opens. Obviously I have my team, I have the personal trainers and stuff, like they will essentially take over. And then I can just breathe, I think. And like we said before, like hone back in, find methods in my relationship and stuff. Like I'm not going to go from like site 1 to site 2.
Yeah.
Let me just take a breath. Let me take a breath. Yeah. Too bad I say that. You might see a post soon.
No, you need to. I will personally be like, ma'am, have you had a moment?
Guys, she's lying. Literally. But no, I think I need to just, strategize in terms of my personal life as well. Yeah. And then go back to business, I think. That's my kind of like overall kind of
amazing. I think it was a perfect way to end the conversation. That was amazing.
Thanks, babe. I'm really, really good at interviewing, you know.
Thank you.
How long have you been interviewing?
How long have I been Here she goes. You might start again.
Yeah, oh, babe, shit. Roll it all over again, guys.
How long has it been? I think, like 4 years?
Oh my God.
4 years. But remember what we were saying, like properly, I would say this is like the proper season. Like I'm not playing. But you know what? Before we even finish, there's actually a task that I want you to do for our Bello Box. So we have my box called the Bello Box, which is where I essentially like give my guests a little something that makes sense for them.
Why you give me the vibe that you're always up to something?
Me?
Yeah, I feel like behind closed doors, you're just always up to something.
So we have my little cue card here, and at the back of it, I've written then and I've written now. And so in the then, I want you to write in here 3 words that you want to leave in that era of the then, because I feel like we're transitioning. So we're kind of, we're using this interview as the anchor to kind of release you into like the now, like what's about to happen in this next level.
Yeah.
So what are the 3 words you're going to put in the now that you're leaving here? We are not touching this anymore. And that can look like whatever. And then what are we bringing into the now? What's the things? What are the 3 key words that are going to sustain you for this new era?
I'm going to write personal growth. Because I feel like people think personal growth begins and ends once you start liking yourself. And it really does not. Like, I feel like personal growth is ever going. I can probably only think of 2. So I'm going to say drive and personal growth.
For the now.
For the now. Because the drive is going to take me to site 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And personal growth is also going to do that. But I think for me, yeah, like I want personal growth. Like I said, like systems in place in my personal life, like switching off. Obviously, Kalani as well. Like right now, she's a baby. In 2 years' time, she's going to know how to walk. She'll know how to walk soon. But her, then there'll be soft play. Then there'll be nursery. Then there'll be this. Like she is actually the personal growth that is going to happen. Like me and you next year, we're still going to know how to walk and talk, but like she's learning such fundamental skills that I then have to navigate as a mum and fit that in. Like she'll be walking around the girls' spot soon, you know, like bloody.
That's my spot.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, literally. That's my spot. So yeah, drive and personal growth.
And then what are you leaving in and then?
Misconceptions. Yeah, that is just, and I feel like misconceptions is like, it's out of your control. I'm going to add a 4th actually. I'm going to say control because I feel like they go hand in hand. Like sometimes I really want to control narratives and it's just virtually impossible. So I think misconceptions and controlling those misconceptions, over-explaining, just being, like I was watching a podcast this morning about just being so certain in what you said, like not I think or I want to, and then being in overdrive is what I'm needing.
That's amazing. Round of applause, everybody. That was great.
Babe. No, that was really good.
That was really good.
That was actually, what you said before we started about the therapy. Oh my God, that's literally what it feels like. I think you should just go into, no, genuinely, like you could scale this into I kid you, stop laughing.
She's like, I've got ideas.
I'm like, I can see it on Netflix. I kid you not.
Oh yeah, that's 100%. Like,
I kid you not.
We're not
I think because I literally I don't know what point it was. There was something, and I literally started like, you know, when you feel a lump in your throat. I was like,
I saw it.
Don't.
I did see it.
I was like, don't do that.
I think you needed this.
Yeah. Could also not have done with the emotional aspect, but it's okay. But yeah, no, literally, like you should have. It's funny because the reason why I think I'm asking you this because I wanted to be a clinical psychologist.
I remember.
Yes, in California. This, yeah. So I feel like that's where like I love sitting down and like picking people's brain. So yeah.
And that's probably why you're so good at communicating your perspective very vocally.
Yeah. And
even the way you do it as well, I think it's very intentional. The standing and the looking into the camera like you're about to rock people's roles. I'm like, this is very intentional.
Yeah, like I'm a very, very intentional person, I'd say, for sure. And yeah, I think even more so now I'm a mum, to be fair.
Yeah.
But I feel like you've been dying to open those crisps. Like, you know, as soon as we clapped, she was like, she's like, give me my food right now. You're so funny.